And now we will hear a keynote speech by Dr. Chungwon Choue, of the President of the World Taekwondo Federation. Dr. Choue will introduce Taekwondo as a tool for development and peace, as well as give an overview of the WTF's new initiative, the Taekwondo Humanitarian Foundation. Please welcome Dr. Choue with a round of applause.
Your Excellencies, respected guests, colleagues, and friends. It is a great honor for me to be here to deliver keynote speech. All of us here, of course, want peace. But the sad fact is that peace is not with us. How can we, as sport officials, assist those who are victims of conflicts? This is what I want to present about today. As you may know, under the leadership of President Thomas Bach, the ISC has laid out its Olympic Agenda 2020. Among other things, this calls for us, the international federations, to fulfill our social responsibility. The World Taekwondo Federation is doing exactly that. Let me tell you how. I recently had the honor of addressing the UN headquarters in New York on September 21st, the annual UN International Day of Peace. Please take a look. It is also a tremendous honor for the WTF demonstration team to perform before you. And this is really right moment and right timing to, in front of all young people around here. I'm really proud to announce that the World Taekwondo Federation are now creating the Taekwondo Humanitarian Foundation. Thank you. I now give you Taekwondo. For me, this was a particularly personal honor, for it was my late father, Dr. Young-sik Cho, who first suggested that the United Nations celebrate such a day. In these days of strife, his favorite saying comes back to me again and again. He said, "Peace is more precious than triumph." Although my father passed away 3 years ago, I'm certain that he would support the initiative I revealed on the day that he named. That new initiative is called the Taekwondo Humanitarian Foundation. So, what is it? And what does Taekwondo offers the world as a humanitarian asset? Now, if you have seen Taekwondo, you may be asking yourself this: can a combat sport, can a fighting art contribute to humanitarianism? That is a reasonable question. My answer is yes. Paradoxically, it can. Like every sport, Taekwondo is a forge of the body. Modern sports, as they develop, require intellectual input, and that makes Taekwondo a forge of the mind also. And as a combat sport, courage is required to practice it, which makes Taekwondo a forge of the spirit. Moreover, Taekwondo is one of the most economical and most democratic sports on earth. It offers developing nations some of their best opportunities of Olympic medals. Why so? Because it requires virtually no equipment, just the human body. to practice it. And because it requires no expensive playing fields or structures, just space to do it. I admit this, Taekwondo does not approach football, basketball, or rugby in terms of popularity as a spectator sport. On the other hand, Taekwondo is one of the most popular participation sports on earth. In many developing countries, Taekwondo is the second most popular sport after football. And for me, participant numbers are more significant than spectator numbers. Why? Because it is better to do than to watch. This is what sports for all truly means. Taekwondo's huge global participant population grants the WTF enormous geographical reach. It is also grant the WTF reach across all the barriers we humans place in each other's way. The barrier of race, the barrier of religion, the barrier of culture, barrier of gender, and barrier of the language. Taekwondo smashes these barriers. Currently, we encompasses 206 national member federations worldwide. Those federations oversee around 70 million practitioners. Moreover, the WTF is no stranger to humanitarian initiatives. The World Taekwondo Peace Corps, established in 2009, has sent instructors to teach Taekwondo and Olympic values to over 100 developing nations. So what is the next for us? Now, let me turn to the main business. The core of my presentation today, as I said, the WTF plans to fulfill our social responsibilities under Olympic Agenda 2020. The body we will use to do this is the Taekwondo Humanitarian Foundation, and it is designed to help deal with a very specific issue. Today, the wide family of humanity is confronted with a grave crisis. This crisis is the ongoing explosion in the refugee population. The UN High Commission on Refugees estimates that if all refugees and displaced persons were combined into a single nation, it would be the world's 21st largest country. The Commission also notes that one in every 122 of our fellow humans is a refugee, is internally displaced, or is seeking asylum. These refugees and internally displaced persons living in camps often suffer from poor health conditions, from poor food and from poor water and poor hygiene and from lack of exercise. This is where the Taekwondo Humanitarian Foundation comes in. We plan to dispatch Taekwondo instructors to refugee camps around the world. While Taekwondo may be easy to practice, it is difficult to master, and it delivers multiple benefits. It offers hopes and dreams to children and offers them an outlet for their energy. It provides agility, flexibility, coordination, stamina, and strength for all the practitioners. For all, it provides self-defense and self-confidence. Many refugees and displaced persons have little or nothing to do all day. We can give them something, Taekwondo. As a sport, Taekwondo will improve the quality of their physical and mental lives. As an art, it will nourish their spirits. And once again, Taekwondo is a gift that can never be taken away. It can be practiced anywhere, anytime, by anyone. Our teams will not only teach Taekwondo, they will also teach importance of Olympism, how to live as a global citizenship, and importance of world peace, and language skills. The Taekwondo Humanitarian Foundation is being established in the WTF office in Lausanne, Switzerland. We are finalizing the legal steps we need to establish. We have started raising funds. In fact, the WTF headquarters, staffs, and WTF officials all around the world have already made substantial donations, and we are wasting no time. A WTF official based in Seoul, Saudi Arabia, has already carried out a reconnaissance at a Syrian refugee camp in Jordan. Once we have completed the feasibility study, our plan is to establish a pilot program in that camp by the end of this year or in early 2016. We are also looking at deploying instructors to Nepal. In the wake of the country's terrible earthquakes, we will not only bring Taekwondo instructors, but also medical and educational teams. These two pilot programs will each last 3 months or more. They will grant us experience with political disasters, Syria war refugees, and with natural disasters, Nepalese displaced by earthquakes. Dear colleagues, I consider myself not a Korean. Especially after becoming a president of World Taekwondo Federation, I was thinking, and I was announced to our member nations, I'm a Korean, but I consider myself not a Korean, but a citizen of the world. However, as a Korean passport holder, this new initiative is close to my heart. I remember the devastation of the Korean War, which raged from 1950 to 1953. I remember the many nations that rallied to the UN banner and to Korea's aid in those dark years. Now, as a Korean who has the global Taekwondo family, I can return that favor by giving something back to less favored nations. Once the lessons of the Jordanian and Nepalese pilot programs have been absorbed, the foundation will upgrade its capacity, expand its horizons, and go into full operational mode in 2016. Thanks to the WTF's international networks, thanks to our extensive experience, and thanks to the deployability of our sports, we are good to go. It was an honor to speak before you. I hope to meet many of you on the sidelines in the hours ahead. We anticipate great result from our pilot project, putting a smile on the faces of our less fortunate brothers and sisters who are suffering as refugees. Thank you, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr.